solving inequalities. Only one difference, okay? There's one difference in what it looks like, right? Instead of an equal sign, we're going to see something like that. But the only difference in the method that you're doing is this part down here. If you multiply or divide by a negative, we have to flip that little less than or greater than, that little alligator mouth. We got to flip it around. Okay, only if we multiply or divide by a negative, we have to flip that alligator mouth around. The reason that we do that is because in math, a negative means, the technical mathematical definition of a negative means opposite. So when we multiply and divide on both sides by a negative, we need to flip that inequality around to its opposite. Okay, but we're going to take this one step at a time because, like I said, other than that, it's exactly what we've been doing this whole session. That's the only difference. I'm going to paste the link in the chat again. So if you just came in, you can click that link. All right, so ignore it. I tried to fix this and for some reason it wouldn't let me fix this. Just ignore this, please. I tried to take that out because the whole equation is right here. So do this on your paper. Let's do this one together. In the chat, just to me, DM, tell me the first step. What is the first step to solving this equation? Just to me. Make sure it doesn't go to everyone. What is the first step? Evan, yes. Joshua R, yes. Alani, Jake, yes. Jasmine, yes. Nina, that's correct. Be more specific. Danae, yes. Like what operation? What would I do? What would I do to both sides? Keep them coming. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see a few more answers before I do it. Sarah, yes. That's partially correct, Ryan. Javen, yes. It's not multiply. We're not multiplying here. So look at what's being done to the x, right? The x, if I follow order of operations, first it's being multiplied, and then we are adding, right? So if I want to go backwards, the first thing I have to do, oh, Joshua R is going on to the next step. The first thing I have to undo is this, right? That's the first thing I have to undo, you guys. I have to undo the +3. The way that I undo the +3 is to -3. 3 minus 3 is 0, so I don't have to write it. Now I've got -2x equals 2. That's okay, Sammy. It happens. So Joshua R, you already gave me the next step. If you haven't given me the next step, tell me what I would do next. What would I do next? So I've already undone this. Now I have to undo this. I have to undo multiplying by -2. What's the opposite of multiply by -2? Yes, wow, they've all poured in at the same time. Jasmine, Danae, Sarah, Javen, you're all correct. Anyone else? Ryan, that's correct. And Joshua R, I already got your answer. That was correct. Anyone else want to try? No? What's the opposite of multiplying by -2? Yes, Evelyn, Jake, yes. Yeah, divide by 2, right? So now I would divide by -2. Good, Abby. Divide by -2, right? Then I undid that. -2 divided by -2, any number divided by itself is 1. And 2 divided by -2 is -1. All right, so just to sum up for this problem, because we're going to use this problem again in a minute. Just to sum up, I had to undo multiplication and addition. So to undo that, I just did subtraction and division. All right, are we good on that part? Yeah? We're undoing the operations. All right, so now, dun, 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 dun. Look, same problem. And I had the same issue where I couldn't delete it. So just ignore this and ignore this because it's right here. Okay, so let's do it together. Same thing, right? Same numbers. So I'm going to subtract 3. I get -2x. This time I don't have an equal sign. I have this. That is a less than sign. You can tell because it looks like a squished L, right? Squished L means less than. Then what I did before is I divided on both sides by -2. This is not new. This is what we just looked at, right? These cancel. I get x. On the right side, I got -1. So far, this is exactly what I just did. Here's the one change. The one change is that because I divided on both sides by a negative number, I have to flip the inequality. You only do it when you multiply or divide by a negative. Okay, I'm going to say that again. You only flip it when you multiply or divide by a negative. It's the only time. Okay, other than that, you would keep it the same. If you multiply or divide by a negative, that's the only time that you go and you flip it around. All right. Like I said, it's going to take practice, but this is the same process. Solving inequalities is no different than solving equations. It's just got that one extra added little piece. Okay, so we can graph this. If this is my solution to my inequality, right? This was the answer. My inequality was -2x. Was it +3, you guys? I think it was this, right? This was my equation, right? Let me put my inequality in there. This was the original inequality, right? This is the solution that I just got. Let's graph it. What this means, this solution means that when x is larger than -1, it works in the inequality. It works. Let's test that out. Give me a number bigger than -1.
1.
Sure. Let's plug 1 in here. If I put a 1 in there, I would have -2 times 1 plus 3. -2 times 1 is -2 plus 3 gives me 1, and that is less than 5. It works. Give me another number that's bigger than -1.
3.
3. Let's try 3. -2 times 3 plus 3. That's going to be -6 plus 3. That's going to be -3 is less than 5. It works. No one's given me the easiest number to test. What's the easiest number that's bigger than -1?
0?
Yeah. Yes, Danae. 0. Let's try 0. -2 times 0 plus 3. That gives me 0 plus 3. 0 plus 3 is less than 5. So what this means when we get an inequality answer is that any number that fits into that inequality will make the original one true. All right, so we can show this on a number line. Where is the number -1? Well, I don't have any numbers on my number line. So I'm going to put 0 here, and I'm going to put -1 here. Now, what happens if x is equal to -1? Let's test it out. If I do -2 times -1, that gives me a +2, right? That equals 5. 5 is not less than 5. 5 is equal to 5, right? It's not true. So I don't want to mark this, like I wouldn't want to go like this because -1 is not a solution. It's only the numbers that are bigger than -1. So the way that we show that is we put an open circle because we're not including -1. -1 doesn't give us anything that's true. So we're not going to include it, but we are going to shade all of the numbers that are bigger. And I know this is like a very messy shading job I'm doing here. But we're going to shade like that. So your arrow does not need to be as thick as mine, but we're going to put an open circle on -1, and we're going to shade all the numbers that are bigger, greater than -1. Okay.
Do we have to write that on our page?
What's that?
Do we have to write that on our page?
You should write that down, yeah. Now, if it had said x is greater than or equal to, right? See the difference here? This is just greater than, this is greater than or equal to, then we would have wanted to shade this in completely. But it didn't say that. It just said greater than. So here's what I want you to take note of after you've copied that down. If it's less than or greater than, you're going to use an open circle on your graph because it does not include the number like we saw here. If it has the equal to line underneath it, you're going to use a filled in circle on your graph because it does include the number.
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry, I was still shading.
Yes, I can. If your inequality is less than or greater than, you're going to use an open circle because less than or greater than means that it does not include the number. So we don't want to shade it in. If your inequality is underlined, then it does include the number. And we should shade it in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I'm telling you, with this kind of stuff, with solving equations, I already said it, but I'll say it again. Solving equations, solving inequalities, graphing inequalities, you really just need practice, 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 practice. So please watch the videos. Watch the videos that I posted for 304 and I don't know if I put them both into one, but I have videos for solving equations and solving inequalities. Please watch those videos and practice with those examples before you do the assignments.
Where is it gonna be at?
I put them in the help center.
Oh,
Where
okay.
all the videos are. They weren't there earlier in the week. I thought that I had already posted everything for module 3, but someone texted me and was like, I don't see 304. And she was absolutely right. So I went and I posted the rest of module 3. It's all there now. Okay, these take practice. That's just what it is. These just take practice. So don't be too frustrated. Don't be hard on yourself if you're not getting it completely today. They just take practice. Okay. All right, word problem. This should help you with 305 because there's quite a few word problems on 305. You have $300. Don't copy this word problem down. That's going to be too much writing. You have $300. There's a show that you want to go to, and you already have a ticket. So you're going to use your money to buy tickets for some friends and a shirt, right? So let's talk about the money that you're going to spend. You're going to spend $20 on a shirt plus tickets cost $48 per person. So you're going to spend $48 times the number of people. Or let's use F for friends. Right? If you invite one friend, it'd be 48 times 1. If you invite 2 friends, it'd be 48 times 2. 3 friends, 48 times 3. You get the picture, right? So however many friends you invite, you have to multiply that number by 48 because the tickets cost $48 each. Now, you only have, I mean, I say only, but it's a lot of money, but you only have $300. That's your limit. So you cannot go over $300. What inequality symbol would I use to show that I cannot go over $300? Anyone want to try it? Want to take a stab at it? Which inequality would mean that I cannot go over? Close. I don't know if you can type this one. I would say type it in the chat, but I don't know if you can type it. Does that give you a hint? Anyone want to say it? Any ideas? You can try to type it in the chat. What inequality would mean that I cannot go over? So if I can't go over, what inequality symbol? Like which one of these? Which inequality symbol would I use to show that I cannot go over $300? Let's do this in the chat. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Tell me the number of the one that you would use. Yes, LeJoelle, Alani, yes. Which one means that I cannot go over? Think about it again. A lot of people have answered, but I haven't said your names. Think about it again. If I can't go, yes, Madison. Think about it again. Yes, Jake. Yes, Joshua R. Yes, Jasmine R. Anyone else? If I cannot go over, yes, Javen. Yes, Izzy. Anyone else? Yes, Sarah. Yes, let me explain. So if I can't go over 300, That means I can spend less than 300. That's okay. I could also spend exactly 300, right? So that means I could spend less than or equal to $300. The amount of purchases I make, the total has to be less than 300 or equal to 300, right? As long as it doesn't go over. It can be equal to 300 or it can be a smaller amount than 300, but it can't go over. Is that good? Everyone see why it's less than or equal? Because I could spend up to 300 or I can spend some amount less than 300, right? All right, so now we're going to solve it. Remember how we solved equations? Same thing. So I've got the F. I'm going to write my order of operations thing here off to the side. I've got the F. The first thing that's being done is it's being multiplied by 48. And then I am adding 20. So when I go backwards, the first thing I have to undo is plus 20. So I minus 20 and I minus 20. Oh, okay. Well, less than would mean anything smaller than it, right? If I put greater than 300, that means that I'm going to spend more than $300. But I can't spend more than what I've got, right? I can spend 300 or I can spend less than 300. All right, so then I have 48F still, and 300 minus 20 is 280. Oh, the shape. So the way that I remember which one is less than is that the less than looks like the letter L. The greater than is the other one. So that's how you can remember it. All right, so now I need to divide, right? I don't think this goes in evenly. So let's see what we get. $280 divided by 48. Ooh, I got 5.83333333333. Now, obviously, I can't have 5.8 friends, right? That's not a thing. We're not doing like partial, fractional, decimal parts of people. So how many friends can I invite? Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat.
My bad.
What's the greatest number of friends that I can invite? The largest amount of friends. What is it? Yes, Andrew, that's right. Anyone else? Type it in the chat. Jake, Izzy, LaJoelle. It has to be less than or equal to 5.8. Sarah, Javen, that's correct. Less than or equal to 5.8. What's the largest number of friends I can invite that's less than or equal to 5.8? Gianna, yes. Joshua R, yes. Alani, Kailani. Oh, I like it when your names come consecutively. Yes. The largest number I can invite would be 5 friends. 5 friends, because it has to be less than or equal to 5.8. So the largest possible whole number that's less than that would be 5.
Yeah, because I was thinking, hey, how could you bring 5.83 of a friend? You just bring like the rest one in pieces.
Right, exactly. That's why I said we're not doing fractional or partial parts of friends. And the thing that's confusing here, you guys, is that the rounding rules tell us to round to 6. That's what the rounding rules say, that 5.8 would round to 6. But in this case, we don't, because our number of friends has to be less than or equal to 5.8. So the largest whole number that matches that fits that criteria is 5. All right, that's it, you guys.